A ratio is a comparison of two or more quantities. Example, here the ratio of apples to bananas will be 5 to 6 because we have 5 apples and 6 bananas. So this ratio will be equal to 5 to 6. We can simplify ratios just the way you simplify fractions. So ratios can be simplified by dividing each part by the highest common factor. So same way you simplify fractions is the same way you can simplify ratios. So in example 1, the ratio of cars to bikes will be, we have 2 cars and we have 8 bikes. Okay. So what we can do is, the highest common factor here is 2, or we can divide both of these guys by 2. So divide by 2, and we divide that by 2 as well. What we'll end up with is 1:4. So you can say that this ratio can be simplified to 1:4. Okay? Write in simplest form. So basically what you're going to do is, or what you're required to do here is to simplify these ratios. And we'll start by, of course, finding the highest common factor, and then we simplify these ratios. So here, the highest common factor here is 6. So you can just divide by 6, and your answer will be 1:3. Here as well, the highest number that you can divide by each of these guys is 2. So divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. And what you're going to end up with is 3 to 4 to 6. Okay? When you have same units here, you can just ignore the units and then you just write your numbers. Like here in this case will be 6 to 15. And then you can go ahead and find the highest number or the highest common factor that can be divided by each of these numbers, which happens to be 3. So divide by 3, and you'll end up with a simplified form of this ratio, which will be 2 to 5. When you have ratios like these ones here, whereby the units are not the same, you need to convert this so that you have the same units. So that will be 200 centimeters to 30 centimeters, because there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. This is the same as 200 is to 30, because we have the same units. You can ignore the units. And then you can go ahead and divide by highest number that can be divided by each of these guys. So your simplified ratio will be 20 to 3. Example 3, there are 32 pupils in a class. 20 of them are girls. What is the ratio of boys to girls in simplest form? So we have to identify how many boys we have, how many girls we have, and then we can be able to find the ratio of boys to girls in simplest form. Okay? So let's start by identifying how many girls do we have. We have 20 girls, 32 students in total, which means we'll have 12 boys. So the ratio of boys to girls will be 12 to 20. You can go ahead and simplify this by dividing each of this by 4, because 4 is the highest number or the highest common factor that can be divided by each of these numbers. So what we'll end up with is a simpler ratio, which will be 3 to 5. So the ratio of boys to girls will be 3 to 5. There are 50 sweets in a mixed pack. 25 are jellies. 10 are physical bottles, and the rest are boiled. Now, and there are 50 sweets in total. So what's the ratio of each type of sweet in its simplest form? So let's first of all find out how many jellies do we have. So jellies, we have 25. Physical, we have 10. Boiled, we have we may have to find that, but you know, 25 plus 10, that will be 35. So 50 minus 35 will be 15. So which means those will be 15. So the ratio of jellies to physical to boiled, so this ratio here, okay, remember this is a ratio, will be equal to, just make this ratio, okay, so this ratio will be this ratio will be equal to 25 to 10 to 15. What we want to do is to simplify this ratio. So we can go ahead and find the highest common factor, which happens to be 5. So divide each of this guy by 5. This guy is by 5. And we'll end up with a simpler ratio. So, and that will be 5 to 2 to 3. Okay? So that's the ratio of each type of sweet in simplest form.